Yes, we are forecasting agricultural export earnings in 2013-14 will reach 38 billion, and that's a record in nominal term in this financial year. So we are very optimistic for our rural exports.
Very good. And if you care to run through what the highlights as your analysis unit sees them as being in the coming year.
Sure. If we can separating agricultural exports into livestock exports and crop exports, there are different stories. For livestock and livestock products exports, we do expect the value of exports will increase by around 12% this year, supported by higher production and relatively favorable prices. The story is a bit different for crop exports. We do expect the value of crop exports will be slightly lower this year compared with last financial year. This is because we expect prices for grains and oilseeds will average lower on world market this year. That's because last year we had very favorable prices due to the drought in the United States. And now seasonal conditions in the United States have improved. We have seen prices drifting down lower. So we expect that the prices on world markets for wheat, coarse grains, and oilseeds will average lower this financial year.
And I understand that the competitiveness has been increased because of the activity in the Black Sea region of Eastern Europe and more crop being available on world markets. Is that correct?
Certainly, especially for world crop markets, seasonal conditions are very important factors in determining movements in prices in the short term. Now this year, seasonal conditions in major producing countries have been much more supportive. So we have seen an increase in production leading to lower prices. But we are also facing a weaker Australian dollars, although at close to 90 US cents, the value is still relatively high, but compared with 102 US cents averaged for last financial year, around 90 cents will provide some support for our export earnings.
And if we can get that figure to 80 cents, it'll be a lot better for the farmers.
That will be certainly a lot more better for our exporters.
Yeah, turning to other commodities, dairy is been touted as a major growth area given demand coming out of countries in Asia in the next 10 years. What's your prognosis for the dairy industry in the coming 12 months?
In the short term, we do expect dairy prices on world market will remain strong, partly because of increased demand in China, especially for milk powders and use that for baby formulas. So the increased demand in China has to provide strong support for world prices. And plus, I just mentioned a weaker Australian dollars, so we do expect export prices for dairy product will remain relatively high this financial year.
So tell us then how a winemaker is going to fare in 2014.
We expect the value of wine exports will increase by 4% this year. Now, taking into consideration of the depreciation in the Australian dollars, this implies that we do expect the world wine markets will still remain very competitive. We don't really see that in short term the situation will improve very significantly. That's because strong competition from other exporters, including those from Latin America, in Southern European countries. So I think that there will be quite a strong competition in export markets for Australian wine.
Very good. There's a movement, obviously, towards more free trade agreements between various markets, particularly around the region and with the Trans-Pacific Trade Agreement. Korea recently announced that it had reached a free trade pact with Australia. Rice growers have been excluded from that pact. Now, I know that it's political and you can't be political, but the rice growers claim that a free trade agreement where commodities are excluded is not really a free trade agreement at all. Do you have a position on that?
I think trade is an important issue for agriculture exporting countries such as Australia, and certainly that any free trade agreement we can achieve with our major trading partners will be a big plus for our export industries. For example, the beef industry, because Korea has already achieved exporting industry in the rural sector, that we achieve successful negotiation outcomes with Korea. And also that in the trade agreement, the impact on our exports will, depending on the condition and the outcome of trade negotiations. Sometimes the tariff reduction scheme will come into effect gradually. So we do expect that any achievement on trade front will improve Australian export performance.